I wasn't going to talk about this story because at first I thought it was in relation to a story I just recently did involving some Chinese individuals involved with the cheating scandal and, the college admission scam. But it turns out these are two different stories, and the way that I was able to figure it out is because it was talking about two different schools. The one I talked about before this one dealt with Yale University. This one's dealing with Stanford. And so it's a whole nother case within the same, under the same umbrella. So this student's name who goes to Stanford, her name is Yuzi Zhao. And I think they call her Molly. Ironically, they gave her the whitest nickname. But it says that her mother paid $6.5 million to get her daughter into Stanford University, and the mother claims that she thought the money was a donation. Excuse me? You thought that this was just a simple donation? You knew exactly where that money was going, and you knew that money was going to William Rick Singer in one case or one form of fashion, whether it went straight to his hands or whether it went through multiple hands to get into his pockets. Let me go ahead and read this article. A Chinese mother says she was misled into thinking she was donating to Stanford University after paying $6.5 million to an advisor at the center of the U.S. college admission scandal. What a weak excuse. That is a very, very weak excuse. The mother of Yuzi Zhao, identified only as Mrs. Zhao, says she donated the money to William Singer's foundation on April 21st, 2017. So she went directly to William Singer at his request almost a month after her daughter received an offer from the university. It says, according to a statement provided on Friday by her lawyer, Vincent Law, a Hong Kong-based partner at Meyer Brown. The university entrance scandal, in which wealthy parents got their students into elite schools by cheating, has spread far and wide since U.S. prosecutors exposed the brazen national scheme by bringing charges against parents and ringleader Singer, who pleaded guilty to racketeering, money laundering, fraud, and obstruction of justice. The scandal has embroiled high schools, test administrators, guidance counselors, and students, and now a wealthy mother in China. Now, this one is more than the one I just recently talking about. The one I talked about before this one that happened at Yale, that was, I think, $1.2 million. This one is $6.5 million. Yuzi Zhao is also a victim, according to her mother. The purpose of the donation was for salaries of academic staff, scholarships, athletic programs, and helping those students who otherwise would not be able to afford to attend Stanford. The contribution is in the same nature as those that many affluent parents have been doing openly to prestigious universities, Mrs. Zhao says. See how she worded that so she could try to weasel her way out of what she knew what she did was a crime. Mrs. Zhao added that she isn't familiar with the admissions process for colleges in the U.S., but you knew how to get that donation money to this person who had this so-called foundation that apparently you didn't do enough research on. Mrs. Zhao has come to realize that she has been misled, her generosity has been taken advantage of, and her daughter has fallen victim to the scam. Mrs. Zhao was introduced to Singer through a third party. That should have let you know right there that something was up if you had to get introduced to some kind of foundation that you thought was legit through a third party. After which she learned of his charity foundation, which was represented to her as a substantial and legitimate nonprofit foundation for supporting education. Singer presented Yuzi Zhao as a competitive sailor, the New York Times reported. It's that same thing, a competitive sailor. Goes back to that. So basically we have sailors, we have rowers, we have soccer players who have not done any of the sort. Stanford rescinded her admission and she is no longer a student there, the newspaper said. In a video that was shared across Chinese social media, she offers advice about getting into prestigious U.S. universities, saying that she tested into Stanford through my own hard work. And $6.5 million, more so than the actual hard work itself. Zhao Tao, chairman of Shandong Busheng Pharmaceuticals, said in a statement on the company's website on Friday that the issue regarding his daughter's studies in the U.S. is a family matter and will not affect normal business operations. Shandong's Busheng Pharmaceuticals, which is headquartered in Heze, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, is it Heze or Heze, Heze, in the eastern province of Shandong, listed on Shanghai Stock Exchange in November 2016, and now has a market capitalization of 28.3 billion yuan, which is their currency, which translates to $4.2 billion in U.S. currency. Hard work, right? She said she got in there with hard work. This is yet another, I guess you can say, tack that you could throw onto the wall that says the Asian community is not as intelligent as they claim to be. I am so glad that this is blowing up, and I'm so glad that so many more people are getting exposed by this thing. I really am. I'm so glad that this is happening. And this is not going to be the end. I remember when Olivia Jade, Lori Loughlin, and her husband's daughter said that she was hoping that this would be over in a week. Here we are, almost 2 months later, and it's still here. I'm so glad. More and more of these will potentially come out, and I can't wait for that to happen. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.